Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with part 2 of that absolutely gargantuan $12,000 plus haul that I brought back from my visit back east. So to recap you, I went home to visit family and I of course hit the bins and I hit the regular thrift while I was there. But all the while my mom has been hitting the bins, she's been hitting Dollar Day, so she has also been shopping. So a lot of this haul is a lot of the pieces that she found, but also in the mix are the pieces that I found while I was at the bins back east and hitting up the thrift stores. I'll try to denote which ones are which as we go through, but for the most part, these are all finds that my mom found. Now, she would send me pictures while she was out thrifting and I would say yay or nay. She would put some stuff back. Of course, when we went through all the things when I was back home, there were some things that we decided not to keep, so we sent them back to the donation pile, but we have about 90 pieces with a grand total value of over $12,000. It's pretty incredible. So lots to get through. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it down below. Incredible good stuff, lots of like handmade sweaters, really just like special, interesting things. And it just goes to show that these kind of treasures can be found no matter where you are in the country. But before we get started here, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia, that is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we've got a lot of stuff to get through. I think I've got about 40 pieces. I think I did 50 or so last week, so I think I've got about 40 pieces here. Some really good things, but that being said, tons to get through. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So when I went home, I knew my mom had been thrifting and she kind of sent me a picture of the pile of stuff that she had. So I literally flew home with a suitcase in a suitcase. So I packed all my stuff in the smaller suitcase, put it inside of a bigger suitcase, and that's how I traveled home. And I traveled back with 2 big old suitcases. It was a lot. If you've ever had the pleasure of navigating Los Angeles International Airport with 2 big suitcases, you know what a nightmare that is. Okay, so first up here, this is one that my mom found. This is a great closet staple. This is a beautiful gray cashmere sweater from Evelyn Grace Cashmere. It's a size XL. I've never heard of Evelyn Grace. It looks like it's a pretty kind of standard cashmere brand. I want to say that this retailed about $150 to $200. Something like this I'll probably see like $35 to $40. It's got a lot of stuff going for it that's going to make it really like palatable to a lot of buyers. It's like a classic shape, it's a classic collar, it's a classic color, and it's in perfect condition. So again, probably $35 to $40 on that. And next up, this was a Zara piece that my mom picked up, and I just thought this was so cute. This is newer tag Zara. It's kind of a cropped silhouette. If you see that here, it's got this crochet panel in the front, and then it's got little inset crochet panels in the peasant style sleeves. You kind of see this basically is like the top of the arm. Very, very cute. It is a size small. Definitely an oversized fit. Something like this I'll probably see somewhere like 25 to 32 on. This just has a lot going for it that I can use in terms of keywords. I've no doubt that this will go quickly. This is also a great style that can be used like either in the like spring, summer or the fall, winter, just because it is cropped, it is gauze, it's lightweight, but it's still long sleeve. It still has like a sweater component to it. So very cute find. Oh yes, okay, so I'm gonna show you these things all together because they are all like of the same line. So this is from Chico's Travelers. Now Chico's Travelers, this is vintage. I wanna say this is 90s. This is a little V-neck t-shirt. This here is a little like of the same era, kind of open front cardigan. You can't really see it. So this fabric, this Chico's Travelers fabric is known, like it's got a bit of a cult following, and literally you can crumple this thing up in a ball, shove it in the bottom of a bag, pull it out wherever you're going, and there will not be a single wrinkle or contour on it. People love this stuff. They retail between like $80 and $120. So we've got the 2 pieces. We've got the V-neck t-shirt, we've got the open front cardigan, and she also has, this is the newer tag, she also found a dress. This is the newer Chico's Travelers tag. And this one is new with tags. It was $109. And this is a little dress. Cute little like elbow length sleeves. It's got this keyhole. I don't know if you can kind of see that. So it's a V-neck with a keyhole. And then the neck is this pretty like gold braided. It's a Chico size 2, which is a size large, and again, brand new with tags. I'll probably see somewhere $30 to $40 on this one, and then somewhere between 20 and 30 on both of the other pieces. Again, they just have a real cult following, and for like good reason. If you are a traveler, if you are like a road warrior for work, having pieces like this that you can pull out, out of your suitcase and like on a moment's notice look pulled together and not rumpled is super, super valuable. So love finding Chico's Travelers. Let me know, is that something that you guys find? I feel like I never see it out here. My mom does find it quite a bit. All of the pieces that I've ever had for sale, she found back east. Next up, now this was a brand I had never heard of, and I'm not quite sure what made her pick these up, but this is a pair of like velvet, straight, I guess kind of like wide leg pants. They're like a beautiful midnight blue velvet, and the brand on this is Crazy Larry. Now, I am very interested. Have any of you ever heard of Crazy Larry? I had never heard of it before I held these in my hands, but they are pretty expensive. These pants in particular retailed like $136, and on the resale market, they look like they go between $30 and $40 depending on size. This is a size 10, and they are in like brand new condition, but I've never heard of this brand before in my life. Let me know what you know. I was able to find them for sale, but I don't know their story. Like, there's obviously some kind of story to this name. So let me know what you know. I'm gonna keep digging. Obviously, if I find anything else out when I go to sell it, I'll talk about it. But yeah, let me know. But what an interesting find. I want to know what made her pick these up. I'm gonna assume it's because it was velvet and they were really like in great condition, but let me know what you know. Next up here, we've got a beautiful sweater from Vince in this great pumpkin color. This has the contents, this is obviously very wrinkled, and I feel bad because my mom spent a lot of time like meticulously packing all these things into the suitcase so that they didn't get wrinkled, but the fact of the matter is I can't keep the suitcases hanging out. So into a bag they went. This will be like washed and steamed obviously, but this is from Vince, love Vince. The contents tag is taken out, but this feels like it's a silk cotton. I've felt their silk cotton before and this feels exactly what it feels like, but it's just a little basic long sleeve, kind of wider sleeve sweater. This like a little bit of a dolman sleeve silhouette, a little bit of a wider neckline, size large, beautiful condition. I'll probably see like 30 to 40 on this. Vince, again, one of those just eye-wateringly expensive brands. This probably retailed $250, if not $300 or up, depending on the content. I mean, for all I know, this could be like silk cashmere, and that would be like a $400 sweater. So expensive. Just definitely a label to be on the lookout for. I'm sure you already have it on your radar, but if you don't, that's the label you're looking for. Next up, now this is such an interesting vintage piece, and it's so weird and well made that I have no doubt that it'll go. So this is from a designer, this is from a brand called Platinum by Dorothy Sholin. Let me know if you are familiar with it. That is the label. But look at the details on this top. Okay, so it's got shoulder pads. This is like double layer of this fabric, right? So it's fully lined. It's got long, kind of wide sleeves. It's got that tie front silhouette. It's got beads. It's got like a bead fringe on the neck, and then on the back, like look at the way that this is kind of gathered. Like, I wish you could get I mean, obviously this pattern is making it really hard to see, but like, look at how nice that elastic is, right? It's stitched in the middle, so the elastic will never like fold over in the cavity. It's shaped on the back, so it does have like a little bit of a curve to it. And then look at these beads. Look at these buttons. They're all beaded. It's like the quality on this is out of this world. I think that this is probably early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, just going by the silhouette, but like going by the quality, this feels like something you would find in Neiman Marcus. Like there are like little cues in terms of like quality here. So like, again, this is fully lined, right? So that's obviously the front. The back is the same fabric, but you know, just another layer of it. So the little things that kind of tell you that they spared no expense in construction, like underneath the collar here, so like past the piping, there's a layer of stabilizer that stiffens this fabric to keep the shape of the neckline. Like these are little things that absolutely don't need to be done, and something that would probably not be done in like a mall brand. So the quality here is outrageous. And oh my God, the shoulder pad is actually integrated. It's in between the 2 layers of fabric. So it's not something that can be like detached. It's not something that's gonna like come out and ball up. Anyway, it's a size small. It's really beautiful. Let me know if you are familiar with this brand at all, but like, guys, the details are unbelievable on this. I feel like this will be a Depop sale just because like style-wise, it's so funky, but like, I would not be surprised at all to learn that this like retailed $500-600 back when it was new. I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 50 on this. I do think that this designer is pretty high end, but let me know if you've ever found anything by Platinum. It's beautiful quality, like really unbelievable. That is 100% one of those pieces that I wish you could get your hands on because you can't tell it by looking at it. You can't see all the details. And indeed, a lot of the details that are there are like structural details. So they're not even ever meant to be seen. They're really just meant to like keep the garment looking exactly how the designer intended. Oh, this is a piece that my mom really wishes fit her. This is a beautiful blazer from Alberto Macalai. Now this is kind of an interesting brocade. Let me get you up close on the texture so you can kind of see. It almost, like this almost feels a little bit like velvet, but there's no flocking. It's this beautiful like ice blue and gray. It's a classic 1-button silhouette. It is missing the button, but my mom did send me home with a couple buttons that would work with this. But it is a size 4, I believe. Yeah, it's a size 4. This is the designer. Let me know if you're familiar with this designer. I have sold a couple things from them before and they've always sold like pretty well. Like the quality feels really nice. Like every time I've picked one up, it's because it's felt really nice. So I don't really know where they were sold, but I do know that they are very high quality. I believe they were very expensive when they're new. I just think this is such an interesting and chic and kind of timeless blazer. Really beautiful. Probably just based on other things that I've sold from Alberto Macalai, probably somewhere between like 30 and 50 bucks on this. Let me know your experience. If you've ever picked up something by them, like did you sell it? Did you keep it? How much did you sell it for? How long did it take you? Let's like compile all the information we all have on this designer because I think that they're kind of a sleeper hit. Next up here, this is like an always buy. I've told my mom when she sees this label, just pick it up. This is from Sundance, like Sundance catalog. This is a beautiful silk lace trim camisole. And you can tell like there is a certain flow to velvet. And I feel like you can see this in the camera. You know that there is at least some silk in this velvet. It just has a very distinct like heavy drape. So anyway, this is a size large, beautiful condition, this gorgeous like warm gray color with this beautiful lace trim. Something like this will go like 25 to 32 and I have no doubt this will go in no time. I absolutely positively love Sundance stuff. I do not find it as much as I want to. Everybody out there that is in Utah, please be keeping your eyes out for it. Feel comfortable paying up for it in the regular thrift. This is good stuff. People just love it, especially when you're dealing with like these kind of silk blend velvet pieces. Like all day. All right, next up, now this is an interesting one that my mom grabbed. This is from a brand called Color Me Cotton that I had never heard of, and it looks like they are kind of a boutique-y brand. I don't want to call them like a boutique brand, but it's all like this is made in the US, it's beautiful quality textiles. This is a French terry in this pretty like mustardy orangey color. I like the single button closure there. That button is like a shell abalone type thing here. And then if you look at the back, there's some darting to give shape. It's just a really pretty, like, it's just a really pretty style. Now, I don't know if this is a brand that's like super in demand, as in like people search for it by name. But because of the style, this leans very much into like the artsy, the login look kind of style. So I will use those kind of keywords. Let me know if you are familiar with this brand, if you've picked it up before, if you've sold it, if this is a brand that you like to wear. It looks like retail wise, they're between like $50 and $100. And the pieces that I've seen on the resale market are between like, you know, kind of 25 and 40, depending on the piece. This is a little bit more substantial, but I think it's really cute. This is something that 100% I would have picked up just because of what it was made of, and how it was made. And I'm glad my mom grabbed the same thing. And let me know, like, is this a brand that we should all be keeping our eyes out for? Like, let's talk about it. Let me know, leave it down below if this is something that you go after. But I just thought it was so cute. Really beautifully made. Like, look at these pockets. Can you see like the stitch detail? This is like a raw trim, but then they have it edged in on all sides by stitching. Like, it's really like, this just interesting. And I think that the camera's blowing it out, so hopefully you can see a little bit of that detail there, but I love it. Next up, this is another one that I believe is a boutique brand that she picked up just because of the fabric and the style. So this is Gigio. Again, I'm pretty sure that this is a boutique brand, but it's pretty. It's made of this gauze. It's kind of a batwing style, wider cut. And then if you look at the bottom here, that's all like eyelet, embroidered eyelet. And then look at these buttons. Again, this is something that I don't think people are really like looking for this brand, but there's a lot about this that I can keyword between like the oversized fit, the dolman sleeves, the gauze, the eyelet. It's just got a lot going on for it. This fits into like boho, this fits into coastal grandmother, this fits into like old money even. So this has a lot going for it, despite it not being necessarily a brand that people are looking for. And I mean, it's made really well. Again, lots of details on this that I can get close-ups of as I'm photographing it as well. Something like this I'll probably get somewhere between like 20 to 26 on, but it is a really lovely piece. Next up, this was a great find that she found. This is from Soft Surroundings. Very similar silhouette to that Color Me Cotton piece. So this is like sweater, but it is a patterned sweater. And this is actually a printed pattern. Like, look at that on the back. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the button, the single button closure. Look at that, that's all like carved. It is a size medium. Of course, this is Soft Surroundings. I wish it was a size large, extra large. I think that this will go quick regardless just because of the style. I think it's really, really beautiful. I have no doubt that I'll see like $35 to $40 on this. It's just such an interesting piece. It's very like boho, it's very artsy, it's just got that vibe. Can you not see your like favorite art teacher in the world wearing this? I just love it. What a great find. It's so pretty. And it's a nice like heavier weight sweater. Like this is something that could easily be like a lightweight kind of like fall jacket. Next up, oh, this was such a great find. So this is Victoria's Secret Gold Label. And I've talked a lot about these slip dresses being the things that are very in demand. So there's that gold label again. I believe this is a size large. Yeah, it's a size large. And it's this beautiful red lace trim, kind of midi length, long slip dress with a high slit up the one leg. This is what people look for when they're looking for the Victoria's Secret Gold Label. I'll probably see, for something like this, I'll probably see somewhere between like 35 and 50, maybe a little bit more. I've seen some of them go kind of to the moon. This is cut on the bias, so it's going to be very friendly to the body. If you're not familiar with what cut on the bias means, it literally means that, so instead of having your weft and your warp go this way and this way, they kind of tilt it. So when you pull it to the side, it gives. Let me show you kind of. So this is the if the weft and the warp was going vertical and horizontal. Do you hear how that kind of snaps? Like there's no give there. But because this is cut on the bias, see how it gives out a little bit? So it actually hugs curves. So if you are somebody that is like hippie or you got a big booty, something cut on the bias is going to be your best friend because it will accommodate all different kinds of shapes of curves. So great find. I cannot believe she found this. And I want to say, yeah, $2.99. I think she paid full price for this and it was like $2.99. This is just a friendly PSA to remind you, if you are in a thrift store, always check out like the sleepwear section. You will not believe the kind of stuff that you'll find in there. And a lot of times if there's like a silk slip dress that's like a dress, definitively not like a nightgown, they will hang it in there because it's similar. So always do a quick breeze through because you never know what you're gonna find over there. Next up, this is a great little vacation dress. This is from Hi-Ho. Now, Hi-Ho, this is an interesting thing. It's designed in Tortola BVI, right? So this is something that I probably would have walked right past. I see a ton of these kind of like tourist brands, a lot of them from Hawaii. I am in the Los Angeles area. You know, people go to Hawaii here, like people on the East Coast go to like the Caribbean. So I see a lot of those kind of like touristy brands, and like a lot of them don't feel great. Now this is linen, fully lined in cotton. It's beautiful color. Turns out this brand is pretty dang expensive. This is a boutique brand, of course, designed in Tortola. This probably retailed for like $200. On the resale market, these go like between 30 and 50 bucks. It's a size small, very like relaxed fit. I love the colors. I like that pink and green. So let me know, is this a brand that you have seen before? Is this a brand you have picked up before? I mean, every once in a blue moon, this is totally a case where as I was Googling this, you know, I picked it up when I was at my mom's house and we were looking and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. I didn't recognize the brand. It said Tortola BVI and I'm like, oh, is this another one of those kind of tourist brands? But when I got home and I started to like look it up, I was floored by the prices. So I'll tell you, I learn something new every single day. Fashion labels, clothing manufacturing, all this kind of stuff is literally bottomless. So I'm constantly learning. But let me know if you've ever picked up something by this brand, if you've ever seen something by this brand, but I was very surprised. And this is something that I will list with like resort wear, vacation, all those kind of things, because if somebody's going on vacation right now, you know, they're going to wherever, they're going to the BVI, like you can't find this kind of stuff in stores in Minnesota right now. It's just not in stock, right? So you kind of have to go to the secondhand market. So anything that I've listed like this recently has sold really quick. We've got another gold label Victoria's Secret piece. I'm telling you, she must have hit, I feel like she got most of these on the same day. Another size large Victoria's Secret nightshirt. This is kind of like a shadow stripe chiffon. This is so 90s to me. Like I can picture somebody putting this on, pouring themselves a fat glass of wine, turning on Delilah and relaxing for the night. Like this just has that vibe. So cute. And it's, again, it's a size large, it's in perfect condition. It's got all the buttons. As a reminder, double check those buttons. If you're finding these vintage Victoria's Secret nightshirts, check the buttons because you will not find replacements for these. This is in like brand new condition though. I'll probably see somewhere between like 25 and 32 on this. And I have no doubt it'll go pretty quickly. Again, this is just so 90s. The one thing that kind of stresses me out about this is going to be kind of difficult to photograph because this fabric has a lot going on with it. I don't even know if you're seeing it really effectively at home. So cute find though. So next up here, this is a piece, this is a 90s vintage piece. This is from a designer or a brand called Como Seta. And that is, Como, like Seta is silk in Italian, but this is a beautiful like jacquard silk. Look at the pattern on that. Really chic, really subdued. This is very like old money aesthetic coded. Look at the button. Look at that top button. Like, can you just not see this on like a prep school girl in 1992? You know, like it's just, this kind of just drips of money. I think this was a pretty high-end brand. Obviously the textiles are really beautiful. Hidden placket, it's got the decorative button. Everything is in perfect condition. Something like this, I sell a lot of shirts like this. I feel like this is one of the nicer ones that I've ever found. I find a lot of Anna and Frank out here. I sell those really quickly, generally between like $30 and $40. Like every single piece that I've ever found has sold very quick. So I have no doubt that this will go at the same kind of click because it's very much like in that same vein. It is in beautiful condition and it's a size 14, so it's a good size. I wish you could feel this. Like it's just as soft as could be. Next up, oh, this one's cute. This is another Zara piece. Again, this kind of animal printy look to it. It's got these kind of really blouson, leg of mutton looking sleeves that are kind of having a moment right now. This is something that, it's a size small. I don't know if you, like, I feel like you can't get any detail because this pattern is so, busy, but it's in great condition. It's newer tag Zara. It's something that I can use a lot of keywords with. Like this can go obviously contemporary. This can be something that you wear to work. This can be like a going out shirt, which is literally a keyword you should be using again, which is crazy if you are around my age. Just using, even typing that feels weird because it is 100% what we used to say, but this is a shirt you can wear out to a club, out to dinner, you can wear it to work. This can even be like church clothes, but you can also use like mob wife, maximalism. There's a million different style cues I can use for this. The one thing that's going against this is that it's a size small. So, but other than that, it's super cute. I'll probably see between like 20 and 28 for this when all is said and done. Very cute and in perfect condition. I love these sleeves. I can't believe those sleeves are having a moment because like to me, that's like the 1990s party dresses that I wore as a kid and I hated them. Next up, this was just a really pretty little, like, interesting basic. This is from Club Monaco. This is one of those brands that I pick up from time to time. I like picking up like their cocktail dresses, stuff like that. They, you know, it's a very expensive store. So something like this probably retailed for close to like 80 bucks, and this is an extra small. So this will take a little bit of time to sell, but because it is white, because it is like an elevated style, like look at that fabric. This is not just something that I will use like regular style cues on. Because of the color, I will also use like bridal shower, those kind of things. Because this is like, you know, not everybody wears dresses for every event in their bridal season. Like a lot of people like to wear separates, and this 100% could be thrown on with like a cute little pencil skirt. Something like this I'll probably see like 20 to 30 on. Again, this probably retailed close to $80. It is in perfect condition. It is just a size extra small. So very cute. Let me know, do you pick up Club Monaco? Do you see it a lot out there? Like I remember when I was in my 20s, I remember Club Monaco was one of those stores that was like just completely unattainable to me, but I don't think that their prices are that far off from like J. Crew these days, but I do love their styles. And I've found them to be really nicely made, every piece that I've ever found, so cute little piece. Next up, a little Torrid piece that my mom grabbed. Now, I'm interested to see if my theory stands true. So I really slowed up on picking up Torrid pieces. They have been pretty universally slow movers for me. This is a size 1, which means it's a size 1X, but there's an exception with Torrid. When things are a little bit more towards like the goth style or like a little bit more of like an alternative style, they tend to sell a little bit quicker, and this definitely falls in that category. So it's a little lace, it's got a lot of stretch to it. It's a lace kind of peplum top. We'll see. We'll see how it does. The last thing that I listed that was something like this, kind of like a lace peplum-y tank top, sold within hours. So we'll see. We'll see if it sells in a day or two or if it takes 6 months to move out of the closet. So keep me posted. What has your experience been with Torrid? Oh, next up, this is a little wrap that my mom picked up. This is 100% cashmere in this beautiful royal purple. It's still got the tags on it. It's from Tribal Designs by Neela. I'm assuming that this is something that was sold in like kind of like a higher end boutique or one of those little gift stores, or even like a gallery store. I feel like I've seen a lot of tags like this. 70 by 200, I'm assuming that is the size. There's no price on here, but it is beautifully soft. But these kind of things, the last one I sold was from J. Crew and it sold for like $60. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'll get on this one. It's not J. Crew, right? So it doesn't have that name with it, that recognizable name, but at least I think 30 or 40 bucks on this, maybe a little bit more. It is beautiful and it's giftable, right? So it still has the tags on it. And it's one of those gifts that like you don't have to worry about what size the recipient is, like this will fit everybody. That's why those one size pieces always sell so much quicker than everything else, because like everybody can buy it. You're not limited to the people that are just a size large or a size extra small or whatever. Next up, this is one that my mom sent me a picture of while she was out shopping, and I'm like, yes, absolutely pick it up. And we have this wrapped in tissue paper. So this is from a designer named Diane Fries. And I want you to keep your eyes out for that label. I have sold a couple pieces from her. They've sold very, very quickly for a very good price. She's known for doing a lot of like silk pieces, really like beautiful silk prints. Now this is not silk, but it is sequined all over. I don't know if you're picking up any of that sparkle there on the camera. And to me, and I think to my mom as well, this is a very overwhelming dress, right? Like you've got like this polka dot trim. This is all like really tightly pleated. It's got a little bit of a lettuce edge, so it's a little like, talk about painting the peacock, right? But this designer is like in demand. People really love her stuff. They love her play of colors and they love her play of textures. So let me know, is this a designer that you have picked up before? I'm interested to see how this goes because it is polyester and not her typical silk, but let me know if you have ever picked up a Diane Fries piece. Let me know what you paid for it, how much you sold it for, how quick it moved. Like I said, I'm interested to see. I have no idea what this will go for. The last Diane Fries piece that I had was in and out of my closet in like under a week. It was a little silk blazer with like huge shoulder pads and like big ruffles down the front. It was like a rose printed silk, and it sold, I want to say, for like 65 bucks in under a week. So let me know your experience with designer, and have you ever had a piece that was polyester? How did it do? This is a whole lot of dress. Like, listen, I'm here for maximalism, but this is almost too maximalist for me. But it is beautifully made. I'll set this over here. so I can rewrap that back in the tissue. We are moving right along. Next up, this is one that my mom said was hers. I kind of don't remember her wearing this, but I definitely remember this kind of style. So this is from a brand called Hot Cotton, and she said that she's like, I used to buy a lot of hot cotton. And it's all, you know, she's been the queen of natural fibers forever and ever and ever. She is very much the reason that I am the way that I am. But this is just a lovely little printed linen overshirt in a size medium, great condition. Again, the kind of thing that I'll probably see like $20 to $30 on. And again, leaning into that like kind of artsy art teacher kind of keyword set. This is definitely like a very distinct style, and I can see the person wearing this. Obviously, also apparently my mother. So, like, are you familiar with Hot Cotton? I don't remember ever seeing that label. Like, I don't remember seeing it growing up. I'm almost positive that this is vintage from the 90s. So let me know if you are familiar. All kinds of new labels that I've never seen before this week. All right, now we're into, I think, most of the rest that we are seeing here are pieces that I picked up while I was out. This one I found at the bins, and this is light as a feather and probably cost me no more than 50 cents, but this is Nat by Natalie Martin. This is definitely a label you want to have on your radar. Natalie Martin is so expensive. Natalie Martin is known for her like lightweight floral dresses, and I swear like the pieces that I have found from her feel like the first piece I ever found was silk, and it felt like such a wisp of a thing, and it sold within a week for like $100. So very expensive. This probably retailed for like $250 to $300. And it's rayon. This is not silk, but little bell sleeve blouse with a very wide kind of like, this will just rest on the edge of the sleeves. This can also go like off shoulder. Like a slight peplum style there, great condition, size small. I'll probably see somewhere between 35 and 50 on this. I've never had just a shirt from Natalie Martin. And this is, I don't know if Nat by Natalie Martin is a diffusion brand. It doesn't look like it is. Maybe it's just something that's not sold in her boutique. I'm gonna have to look a little bit deeper into it, but it is lovely and just something that I will always be excited to see, especially in the bins back east where I'm paying $1.29 a pound. Like this again, 50 cents maybe? I'll take it. Next up, this is one that I found at the regular thrift. This is Eileen Fisher. It is a petite medium, but these kind of topper pieces do still go well for me. Like Eileen Fisher does a really good business in petites. This is the one designer that I generally don't have issue selling petites from, and I think it's because she does pretty much everything that she does in a petite size. So people who are petite and are looking in this style know that they can come to Eileen Fisher. It's not like a crapshoot like it is with other brands. But I really love this texture. I don't know if you can see. It's like a permanent kind of crinkle texture, and it feels like silk. It feels like a lightweight silk knit. This is a style that I've had like a long line cardigan from her in this similar kind of fabric. And literally I remember seeing the instructions was to like kind of crumple it up in a ball for storage to keep the creases sharp. But I think that this is just kind of built into the fabric. But something like this I'll probably get, again, a petite medium. I don't think, this is not silk. It's like viscose, I think. This is not her, yeah, this is not her silk knit. It's viscose. I'll probably see like around $30 on this. That might not sell until springtime because that is short sleeve. Next up, this is a label I will pick up anytime I see it. You should do the same. This is Reformation Jeans. Reformation, of course, very expensive brand. This is just a little square neck tank top, and it is a size extra large if memory serves me right. Yeah, it's a size extra large. I think I got this at the regular thrift, not at the bins. I want to say this was like $3, but something like this will still resale for like $30. And I have no doubt that it'll go pretty quickly. So I will just pick up a Reformation piece anytime I see it. Next up, I think this is one that my mom got. I don't think that this is one that I picked up. I feel like I've lost the script. I'm completely forgetting. Anyway, this is Vintage Express Design Studio. Now, if you see the Express Design Studio label, this was like the higher end line. A lot of the pieces were like silk. They're really beautifully made, and they really have a market for them. This is Y2K. The colors tell me exactly when this was made. Like I remember when this brown and pink, it was like brown and pink and then brown and turquoise. And these were like the color combos of like the early Y2K era. And it's because everybody was so tan because they were going to the tanning booths and everybody looked good in brown. And I'll tell you right now, Brown is having its moment again. So this is something that I think will sell pretty quickly, probably around $35. It is silk. This is silk crinkle chiffon. It's this beautiful like chocolate brown with a light pink polka dot. I don't know if you're able to see that there. Little lace trim. It's in beautiful condition. Size large with a little bit of a like peplum bottom here. So keep your eyes out for that Express Design Studio label, especially if you find like the camisoles. Those things sell. Like I have had so many of them come through my hands and they are in and out of my closet in like days. And I've had probably 20 over the course of time, and every single one of them in and out so quickly. Next up, now this is one that I found in the regular thrift store, and it's funny because I felt it and I'm like, this feels like really nice cotton. And I remember I showed it to my mom and she's like, I hate that. I rarely see her have such a visceral reaction to a garment, but she hated this. So this is from Grayson, and I'll talk a little bit more about Grayson in a minute, but basically what it is, it's just kind of like a loose fit, drop waist, cotton voile, like midi length dress in this like shell pink color. I felt it, I'm like, this feels nice, it's well made, and the label was like so familiar to me, but I couldn't place it while I was there. But anyway, this was like full price at the thrift store. We paid, I think it was $5.99 or $6.99 for it. You know, like there were pockets, like all the tells were there that this was super high quality. So I get home and I'm looking it up. As it turns out, Grayson is founded by the same woman who founded Frank and Eileen. If you are unfamiliar with Frank and Eileen, I like get familiar with Frank and Eileen. It's a huge bolo. Every piece I've ever found from Frank and Eileen has sold in like a day for over $50, over $75, like very, very expensive. Frank and Eileen is known for like a white button-down shirt that sells for $350 and they regularly sell out. Beautiful quality, really nice textiles. And Grayson was meant to be her kind of like down market brand. But the thing is, she was so like exacting about quality of fabrics and quality of like manufacturing that she ended up having to shut down Grayson because she couldn't keep up the quality that she wanted for the brand and keep it at the price point that she was selling it at. So that's like, that tells you everything you need to know about Grayson. Really, really high quality. There's a name for this dress and I can't remember it. I'll put it down below. But on the resale market, these retailed for like somewhere between $200 and $300. To put this into context, if this was a Frank and Eileen dress, this would retail probably between $400 and $500. But this retailed between like $200 and $300. And on the resale market, I'm seeing them go anywhere between like $50 and $120. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. I know, I know my mom hated this. Hated, like hated. She's like, I hate that dress. But it's good quality, and there's a lot of girls out there that like this style. Like, I wish I could wear a style like this. I'm a little too curvy, but those girls who are built really straight can pull off a dress like this and make it look so cute. Not me. It's the wrong color, it's the wrong silhouette, it's the wrong everything. Right fabric, but wrong everything else. But hopefully we'll be able to get this back into the hands of somebody who really wants it and loves this style. But what a find. Like that was kind of like a gut thing for me, and I'm really happy that that panned out. I just kind of knew that was something special. The next few are pieces that we paid full price for at the regular thrift, and good reason for all of that. This is a cute little like denim chambray. This is kind of like a swim cover-up almost. It's a little chambray dress. Look at the hem on this. Absolutely love it. Got that little curved raw edge look. Still had a little dry cleaning tag on it. But the designer on this is Subo, which I've never heard of before. The tag looked really nice and I took a chance on it. Looks like it's an Australian brand, and this retailed for close to $300. Very, very expensive. It's funny. Now, as much as my mother hated this dress, she's like, if that was in my size, Julia, I was gonna buy that for myself. Because she loves to go down to the beach, and this is exactly the kind of thing that she'll wear all summer. This is like open here, right? So this is unlined right here. So this is kind of open down to the sternum. Nice big pockets that are quite deep. Beautiful condition. And it's a size 6 US. It's really beautifully made. I'm not sure what I'll get for this on the resale market. Probably somewhere like 40 to 50. That's about what I'm seeing kind of sold comps from the same brand. I'm not seeing this exact dress, but super cute. Again, something that I will, I'll list this as a sundress, a summer dress, etc. I'll also list this as a swim cover-up. resort wear, vacation, etc., etc., etc. So cute though, isn't it? I like this style. Is like, as like a swim cover up, I've never seen anything like that. All right, this is another one we paid full price for, and for very good reason. This, I felt the fabric. This is like a really lightweight viscose, and that's generally like, you don't see this in cheaper garments. I know that viscose is a cellulose-based textile, but the lightness of this you just don't see in cheaper garments. So this is by Rami Brook. And that's the newer tag from Rami Brook. It's a size large, beautiful condition. So it's a black little cocktail dress. It's got this cute little detail where you can cinch it like to the front, you can cinch it on the side. It's a curved hem. This is midi length, but it's a curved hem. So it'll like kind of scoop down on the front, scoop down on the back, and it ticks up a little bit on the side. It's brand new condition. I would be surprised if this was worn more than once. Rami Brook, this probably retailed about $500. So expensive. I know that styles very similar to this are still in stores. It's a size large, it's black, in perfect condition. I will probably be able to get somewhere between like $80 and $150 on this. The little ties, I mean, it's just like the details, right? It's a very expensive brand, guys. Keep your eyes out for it. Let me know if you've ever found Rami Brook. Let me know what you found, how fast it sold. Gorgeous. I think we paid $6.99 for this. So definitely a label that I would say feel comfortable paying up for in the thrift store. I'm interested to hear if you guys only have access to thrift stores that like mark up for brands. Like, are they marking up for Rami Brook? It's definitely a high-end brand, but I'm wondering how many like Goodwill stores know of it. It is a smaller brand despite its price. I know that they'll mark up for like certain brands, but I'm interested to hear if they would mark up for something like something niche like a Rami Brook. And are you ready for this? Like 3 dresses over, there was another one. This was like the jackpot. I hit the 2 of these. I'm like, it was worth going out thrifting for just these alone. So this is another Rami Brook. I'm assuming that these came from the same closet. Another Rami Brook, another size large, beautiful like fuchsia color. This has like a wide sheared waistband, and like, oh God, the quality on this shearing is gorgeous. Again, same kind of skirt, midi length with that like curved hem. And this is like more of a halter style neckline. So this will be a little bit blousy. Definitely something I'm gonna have to photograph on the mannequin. Actually, I'm gonna keep these guys aside so I can get these guys photographed ASAP, because I wanna get like, this is so something that somebody will pick up for like New Year's. Again, another $500-600 dress, and I'll probably get between like 80 and 100. This is that same viscose fabric, really beautifully made. And again, feels like it's maybe been worn once, maybe. Would not be surprised if it was never worn at all. Oh, sorry, $6.99. We paid $7 for these. Unreal, right? 2 of these in the same place. I love a honey hole. 2 left to go here, and this is such an interesting thing. This is something that my mom found. She found this in the regular thrift while we were there. And this is brand new with tags from Neiman Marcus. This like ice blue velvet robe, nightgown. I don't know what this style is. Somebody let me know that was around in this era. This is probably, actually this doesn't even look like a very old Neiman Marcus tag. This actually, like, there's no yellowing here. The brand on this is Diamond Tea. It's a size large. It retailed for $245. Let me know if you know anything about this brand. But when I see something that's brand new with tags from Neiman Marcus at $245, I'm gonna pay attention, because obviously there are people out there in this world paying $245 for something like this. And it is as soft could be. Velvet, shoulder pad. This is a zip down front. Does it go all the way? No, it only goes to like low waist. No clue what I'll get for this. Maybe 40 bucks, 20 bucks, 80 bucks. I don't know. I have no clue what I'll get for something like this. Let me know if you are familiar with the brand. Let me know if this is a brand that you love to wear. Like, it was just too nice, brand new with tags, where it's from, and like beautifully made. Like, I wish you could feel this like roped piping. This feels like luxury, and it's on the cuffs as well. Gorgeous. And finally, oh, this was a bins find. This is one that I found in the bins. This is just a little black sweater with a mock turtleneck. This is something that I like picked up, and it felt really nice. And when I looked in the collar, there were no tags. You could see like the remnants of a tag there, which should have been my first clue. I mean, I'm foreshadowing, but I looked at like the contents tag. Also, this should have been very familiar to me because I've seen this a million times. And I look at it, and the mix is merino wool and cotton. So I'm like, okay, it's really cute. It's really nicely made. It's a size 10, really nice materials. I'm gonna just grab it because I'm gonna pay like $1 for it. And when I got it home, I found the little tag along the bottom, and that is, of course, Lululemon. I feel like I've never seen a sweater like this from Lululemon, and I'm kind of shooketh because I like it. It might be something that I keep for myself. Either way, this is a great find. This was probably $200+ knowing their pricing, knowing the materials that are in it. It's in fabulous condition, and of course, 'tis the season for nice chunky sweaters. So probably somewhere 50, 60, 70 on this. I didn't have an opportunity to like comp this specific sweater, but I was pretty pumped when I saw it. Like, I was pumped to find it because I'm like, this is just very nice. And I got it home and I saw that label. I'm like, of course it's Lululemon. So awesome find. Whew. But that is it, guys. That is the end of this insane 90+ piece haul that I brought back from the East Coast. Again, about 90% of this stuff was found by my mom. She killed it. She found so many great pieces, so many interesting brands that maybe I would not have even looked at. So I'm interested to hear your experience. Be sure to put your experience down in the comments below. And remember, every single piece that you saw in last week's haul and this week's haul came back with me in one of 2 suitcases. It was an intense luggage situation. We'll just say that. People probably thought that I was coming back from 3 weeks in Asia, not 5 days in Philadelphia. And I'll tell you, there are still a couple pieces that I was not able to fit in my suitcase. There were, I think, 2 pairs of shoes. There's a couple more garments. There was one incredible like leather bomber jacket that I found that's kind of heavy and would just take up half of a suitcase. But that was a really cool find, and we found that in the bins. And I want to say that probably all in cost like $5. It's vintage, it's very, very cool. And it's a style that girls are looking for right now. They're more looking for brown ones, but any leather bomber coat is going to be in demand. But what do you think, guys? I think she absolutely killed it. Again, most of the things that you saw this week and last week were found by her. And like, of course, she's the original thrifter. She taught me everything I know about thrifting and truly got me started on my curiosity about textiles and construction and all of that kind of stuff. I think she found some really good stuff. So considering the fact that all in, we probably spent under $100 on this stuff, because a lot of the things that she found, she got at her bins, which are super, super inexpensive, I'd say this is a pretty dang good haul. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me. I love sharing these finds with you. It just makes me so happy to know that there are other people in this world that nerd out about the same things that I do. I just so appreciate you taking a little bit of your time to hang with me. It just makes me so happy. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. But without further ado, guys, have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.